No matter how sound, no matter how close to God, how on fire for God your mentor is, their words should never be esteemed above the word of God. Mentorship is something every one of us is advised to get into. We're advised to get mentors who can hold our hands and help us through our journey. Now, a mentor is someone who is doing currently what we aspire to do, or has achieved something, or is achieving something that we are looking to achieve. So, being with a mentor helps you avoid the pitfalls that come with the journey that you want to take in life. But as good as mentorship is, there are certain signs that tell that a mentorship relationship is becoming more harmful than it is helpful. The first sign is that you've become a sponge. A mentor is supposed to guide you through your journey to help you avoid pitfalls, to open your eyes to opportunities you ordinarily wouldn't see by yourself, to even introduce you to their network to help you achieve your goals, help you get to the places, enter the rooms you wouldn't enter by yourself. But you are not your mentor, and your mentor is not you. In as much as where you're headed and where they are look alike, your purpose is different, I tell you, from what they are currently doing. So they can guide you, but don't become a sponge. Don't soak in everything they say to you. Take their counsel, yes, be grateful for them, and then go back, sit down, and filter through them. Not everything they say to you would work for you, except you're talking of counsel they give you pertaining an industry where they already are. But when it comes to issues that have to do with your life, your values, your beliefs, and your relationship with God, not everything they tell you works. I once had someone who mentored me, and there was a time in my life I had this issue. I went to them to get counsel on the issue, and when I was giving the counsel, it was a wise counsel. By the time I went back, I realized that okay, while this counsel is good, it does not resonate with the kind of person that I am. Putting this counsel to use in my life would probably even put me in more danger than I already was. So I did not use that counsel. That did not mean I stopped respecting them. That did not mean I stopped taking counsel from them. But when you become a sponge in a mentorship relationship, that relationship is becoming harmful for you. Another sign, and this sign is so critical that we need to consistently watch out for that and watch our hearts so we don't get here. It is that you start to esteem the words of your mentor or the words of that person you look up to above the word of God. Yes, this happens a lot in church, where people are more concerned about what their pastors have to say about certain issues in their life than what God has to say. No matter how sound, no matter how close to God, how on fire for God your pastor or your mentor is, their words should never be esteemed above the word of God. Whatever counsel you're given by a mentor, whatever advice, whatever thing you're told by a mentor should always be passed through the refining fire of the word. If it does not meet God's standard, you have every right in God to discard it. God gives you an instruction, and you're not as keen to follow that instruction as you would if your mentor were to have told you to do that. Whenever you get to that point in your mentorship relationship, you need to realize that you are already delving into idolatry and you need to retrace your steps. Yeah. Another sign that your mentorship relationship is becoming harmful for you is if you're not growing. Why did you go to your mentor in the first place? If you got into that relationship to grow, to get better at maybe your marriage, your career, your business, your spirituality, that's why you got into that relationship. But when you realize that you've been with that person for so long and you've not seen any significant change in that aspect of your life for which you went to that person, then you know that that relationship is not doing you any good. In fact, if you're not careful to scrutinize and reassess your mentorship relationships at this point, you could dabble into hero worshiping. And hero worshiping means you're just there to adore this person, tell them how good they are, how blessed, how privileged you are to be in their lives. Yes, honor the people in your lives, please. But do not go into hero worship, especially if your mentor has not dealt with certain issues in their lives like insecurity, self centeredness. You're going to pay dearly for it. You'll be stifling your chances of scaling at what you do or growing beyond their nurturing. You've already started that pattern of hero worshiping them. You're not growing, but you're still with them, still following them about, you're still begging for time with them and all. And by the time you want to get out of that relationship, or you want to start doing things that they've not approved of, it's going to become a problem. Another sign that your mentorship relationship is harmful for you, especially as a mentee, is when you cannot make decisions by yourself. You are in a mentorship relationship to get counsel, to be led, to be directed, to be guided, to avoid mistakes. But when you get to any point in that relationship where every decision you need to make has to go through them, you want to go on a trip, they have to decide for you. Even in your marriage, you want to do this with your wife, they have to decide for you. You want to do this with your husband, your mentor has to decide for you. That has become a harmful mentorship relationship. Mentorship is not even marriage. My coach will always say it's not supposed to go into the intricate part of your life. No, especially when there's someone else factored in the picture, like your spouse. When you discover that you can't make any decision without speaking to your mentor, you become overly dependent on them. And like I said, if they've not dealt with their insecurity, manipulative behaviors, you've not dealt with self-centeredness, you're going to pay dearly for it, because they are going to be living through you practically. And in that case, the essence of the relationship will not be achieved, because a mentor is not supposed to hold you down. They're supposed to help you rise. But when you get to that point where you've enabled their insecurities, you've enabled their manipulative habits, you've enabled their self-centeredness, it will be nearly impossible for them to see you rise. Another sign through which you know that your mentorship relationship is harmful is when you feel you owe your mentors your life. You owe them honor, you owe them gratitude in kind, in cash, in service, but you do not owe them your life. When you start to feel you can't do what God is laying upon your heart because you feel your mentor is going to be upset, it becomes a problem. When you feel you have to consistently stay low because you don't want to offend your mentor, then that mentorship relationship is a problem. I hope you'd scrutinize your mentorship relationships so that you consistently get the best out of them. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video.